Alright? Just want to talk about this contradiction that I seen online on Facebook. Somebody put a massive Union Jack on a statue of a miner. Now, clearly the person who did that hasn't got a fucking clue about the history of the miners. The miners fought against the ruling class. Most notably in the 1980s, when they fought the Thatcher government to try and prevent pit closures. Thatcher, who was a ruling class revolutionary, determined to smash the power of the working class, decided that the miners would have to be destroyed in order to fully destroy to the level that she wanted working class power. So she took the miners on. She knew that a fucking strike would be called when she announced those pit closures. She knew, and sure enough, a strike was called. And there was a battle that lasted a full year between the miners and the Thatcher regime. But Thatcher was part of the ruling class, and the flag, the Union Jack, or the Union flag to give it its proper name, the Union Jack is only when it's used on a ship out at sea. The Union flag is its proper name. The Union flag belongs to the ruling class. Now, to put the Union flag on a miner, or on a statue of a miner, is contradictory. In fact, it's an insult to the miners, because the miners wanted none of that shit. The miners were all for socialism, solidarity, trade unionism, left-wing ideas, not ruling class ideology or symbolism. The miners fought against the ruling class, fought hard, long and hard. So whoever put that flag on that fucking statue was an idiot. But it's quite common, isn't it, for people to support the miners and support the ruling class? It's a contradictory stance. You can't support the miners and the ruling class. It's ridiculous. You've got to choose a side. Which side are you on? As Billy Bragg once sang. Which side are you on? You can't be on the side of the miners and the right-wing ruling class. You're either on the left with the miners, or you're on the right with the bosses, with the billionaires, with the Thatcher government, with the right wing. So, what is it? And I ask this question to Blot, because I know Blot comes from a mining background, like I do, and I know, or at least I think, he supported, or would have supported, the miners in the 80s when they were on strike against the ruling class and the Thatcher government. He wasn't, I mean, how old would he have been then? I was 14, I'm 55 now, so I think I'm 8 years older than him, so he'll have been 6. Definitely not old enough to understand what that conflict was about at the time, but I think, you know, he's obviously learned a bit about it since, and I think he was on the side of, or he would have been on the side of the miners. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe he can clarify that for us. But let's assume he was on the side of the miners, or he would have been if he'd been old enough. Coming from mining stock, that's probably the standpoint he would have taken. Stand with the miners. In that case, why is he obsessed with ruling class ideology and symbolism? Why does he love the Union flag? Why does he love the rich ruling class? Why does he defend the rich? Why does he do the bidding of the rich by peddling all this divisive bigotry. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what I'll do. It's because he's a contradiction. Blot is a contradiction, and that's quite normal in a capitalist society where you've got people who are influenced by both left and right, by the ruling class and the working class. They're influenced by both, so they end up with contradictory ideas, contradictory opinions. So at the same time that Blot supports the miners, and the same time as that guy who put the flag on the miner, the same time as he is supporting the miners, they're also supporting the ruling class, who the miners fought back against, who the miners hated, and who hated the miners. So you can't have it both ways, can you? It's a ridiculous position to be in, to support the miners and the ruling class. You have to choose a side. Because if Blot had been a miner, like my dad was during the strike, he would have had to choose a side. You know, my dad chose the side of socialism, trade unionism and the working class. He fought against the Thatcher government. He wasn't a scab. What would Blot have done? I'd like to think he would have supported the strike. I know I would have. Absolutely. There's no way I would have scabbed. No fucking way. You don't cross picket lines. That's one of the first principles of being a socialist. You don't cross fucking picket lines. Never. You stand with your fellow workers. So, yeah. If Blot wants to leave a comment or, you know, make a video or what, he's not going to do that, is he? He might mention it in a video. We'll see. Well, come on, Blot, give us your answer. Whose side would you have been on? The miners or the right-wing Thatcher regime and the ruling class? Can't be on both sides. Pick a side. Which side would you have been on? And if you're on the side of the miners, why do you love the flag of the ruling class? It's a contradiction, mate. It's a contradiction. Understand your contradictory consciousness and then overcome it and refine your political outlook, because at the minute you're just being daft, man. Anyway, that's it for now. I will see you in the next one. Gesundheit, tatty bye, and bonjour.